Hi guys, Skinsfanatic here. Just a quick reminder before we get started on tonight's show that if you haven't already, please go down the bottom and subscribe to my channel. Throw me a few likes. Be much appreciated. All right guys, enjoy the show. Oh yeah, it's that time of the week. Skinsfanatic Live. Put your 2 1s up and raise your cups up. Skinsfanatic's back, so prepare to get jacked up. Started out here in the TTC, while repping my team. Shout out to the B&G. But hold up, cause rolling in like thunder. It's Skinsfanatic Live from the land down under. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Hit it like a summer, got the goods here, boy.
Time, you guys. So follow up to our early conversations on naming. I'm excited to show you guys where things have progressed. You like it?
Yeah. That's interesting. It's almost cartoonish. I do this W like that. It's not bad like that.
Mm-hmm. So we started out with 40,000 submissions through WashingtonJourney.com and began from there to winnow down to a smaller amount. It gave us a broad view of how the public and our fan base feel about us as an organization and where they want to see us go.
What were your initial thoughts about the name change?
I was shocked.
I'm not excited about the name change.
I didn't take it as hard as a lot of fans.
I'm actually excited that it's going to widen the fan base.
No, I love my team, so I'm excited about what's to come.
Even though the name has changed, it doesn't change, what we've built here.
We are stewarding not just a logo, but we are stewarding people's cherished memories, and they should be present in our new identity.
I do get why we're changing the name. I like that we didn't just rush into some generic name. This is going to be the name going forward, hopefully forever.
Ready? Yep.
Sounds like a name that would be out of like a low budget movie. That's all right.
Not specific enough.
I'm not liking the red. I like the Hogs part.
I like the Washington football team. I don't care what anyone says.
I like that. We're going to command some respect.
You know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take it.
But what if our defense sucks down the road? No thanks.
Wolves, that's what we are.
Yep. We'll do some logos.
Okay.
Looks like a car logo.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't like that one?
Yeah, good. Me neither. It's got some claws with the W. I like that.
Woo, woo, we're not dogs.
Birds. I'm not liking any birds. Too close to the Falcons.
It looks like the monument in the middle. Okay, I'm feeling that one.
We have a very diverse fan base, and what we're seeing emerge as we engage folks is a commonality that is beautiful. Resilience, grit, tradition, nobility, history, a sense of pride. These are things that unite us. So our new name and logo should allow that spirit to continue. That is our commitment going forward and our promise to our fan base. Wherever we go from here, we will go together. So the 3 that we'll go through are, and I really like.
That's really good.
And there it is. That is classic. At the end there.
Right.
He's like, I really like that. He's just fucking with everybody, Jason Wright. Welcome everybody to Skinsfanatic Live. Crazy Brave. What's going on?
Yeah, it's mate.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty cool to see during the week anyway, that video there, and and Jason Wright has already come out, the other day and squashed all the rumours that the names we saw up on the big screen there, the Armada, the Predators Brigade, Red Hawks Commanders, Red Wolves Defenders and football team, aren't necessarily the 8 remaining names, or the 3 names that we're down to aren't necessarily from that list. So
Correct.
he's told the fan base just to pump the brakes a little bit there, because a lot of pushback there. The whole list is terrible, people are saying, and
Well said,
you know,
Skins. And let me just quickly jump in and just say, isn't Jason Wright a cool character, the way he's handling all of this?
oh yeah, Jason Wright's the man. I mean, he uses massively big words that I have no idea what they mean, but it just sounds like poetry, and no, he's great, Jason Wright, and I love the fact that
I'm wiping tears from my eyes. Like, I mean, he's building something new, and as we have spoken about on this show before, it's time to move on. Like, the Redskins will never be forgotten. What a great team they were, but now is time for us to get behind the new brand. All.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
especially
it's still
since we have been losing games over the last 20 years. Now is the time to really we've got something that we can be part of.
Yeah, and that's exciting too, isn't it? We can be like, well, we were there when they changed the name, and we were witnessed the first game as the Red Hogs, and fuck, it was awesome when they, Tanya Snyder came out wearing a mini, and all the fireworks were going off, and Logan, what's her name, was there, and
yeah.
What's her
name? Yeah. Look.
Morgan. What's her name? I'm confused now. I haven't seen much of her. She probably blocked me because I asked her to marry me last season.
Yeah, she's been moved on from the Washington football team, and she's heading on to more prosperous things in her life.
You're kidding?
No.
Well, that's disappointing.
I haven't seen Santana Moss either this off season in the Washington media.
No, doing the media thing. No, you're right. Yeah, but look, I stole basically what you said to me, but I totally agree anyway. So it's not like I stole it, but when you came out and you said, look, got Skintastic Man. What's up, Skintastic Man? When you came out and said to me that you didn't want it, the name, when they announced the name, to be leaked in some tweet by, Joe Klein or Tom Rivera or something like that. But, they actually put on something for the fans, and I totally agree. And I mean, I put the comment out there on the social media, and I said, well, look, and I got a lot of likes from it. A lot of people agree. Like, let's, 10 p.m., 10 a.m., Wednesday, there'll be a live stream on the site. Yeah. We're going to announce the name. No one knows a thing. We're going to have Chase Young parading the new jersey or helmet, whatever it is. We're going to have fireworks and fucking, boom, like some spine tingling shit to just get the fans like, just
definitely. I mean, I would hope that that's the avenue they're going to take. You can see how difficult it is going to be for them already after a picture emerges of 8 final team names and the fan base loses their collective fucking minds. Like, it's going to be hard for him to pull off, but as long as, it's up to him and Dan and Mayhew. Just keep it quiet and have a big day announcement.
Well, that's been one of the biggest problems in our office for the last how many years is like leaks, leaking information to the media. I don't want to. That's what I mean. I don't want to wake up and flip open my phone and it's like ESPN, like Facebook page, and Washington will announce this afternoon that they're going to be called the, whatever. And then because then if it's, we're already going to be a negative reaction to the name, so because not everyone's going to like it.
Oh yeah, it'll create fireworks.
If you come out as the and you do a big parade, not a big parade, you know what I mean, like, but presentation, it's going to be a lot more engaging to the fan base, and I think that's going to really, help a lot. And it's also going to help if we have a winning season this season. If we only win like 2 or 3 games, it's going to be who gives a fuck.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. That's why the name, the date hasn't been announced yet, because there's no point us having a 5-6 win season and announcing a week after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have just won their back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, we need to own this day, and if it is on the back of a momentous season, we can have it close to the Super Bowl. But if not, we're going to have to wait a little bit, probably towards the draft. But yeah, I mean, we need to. That's right. I mean, if situations.
I'm thinking if we haven't got it, we need that name by the end of March, because there's going to be a lot of, marketing to do. You're going to have to get the jerseys out, the memory, what do they call it? Fucking paraphernalia. All that
I'll
stuff.
tell you what. I mean, I can't wait for Mr. Snyder to give us a new name, because I want the new shit, man. I want it.
Me too.
I want.
I was like one of those.
I'm not going to buy a Chase Young jersey now when shit's changed next year.
No, agreed.
But
I'm not get the new jersey.
You know me. I'm not just a big fanboy, and I'm just buying Chase Young. Oh, Chase Young deserves my fucking $99, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if we're going to invest our money into somebody who's going to stick around in the team, then he's probably the fella to buy his jersey, because you're not going to rush out and get your Taylor Heineke jersey, and well, it's good for a season or two. It might not have lasting power.
Well, I mean, in the quarterback debate over the last 25 years, he comes up in the conversation, but not as great. But he comes
buying a quarterback's jersey. He's
part of that round robin of quarterbacks that we've had, and we'll always talk about until we probably do win the championship.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, no, it's going to be interesting, and like, we've got a whole season to get through anyway. So, but we had to bring that up at the start of the show, because it is one of the topics that we, have to get out there and discuss it. It's a good little discussion anyway. I mean,
I'll quickly.
I can't.
Before you end it, I would like to say a little something else about it. Yeah, I mean, that list 8 is really. I don't think as a old Washington Redskin fan that you can really get worked up about those names. I mean, they are not going to be called the Washington Presidents.
Armada. No.
Yeah, or Washington Armada. Like,
Brigade.
So just chill. Like, Jason Wright has said that he's going to do the right things by the fans, and that's what we're going by. It's not going to please everyone, but if you're not bored, then you're already behind. Like, there's already people in front of you on that shit. So
Look, I'm going to add something
I'm going to add something. We're getting off this, but I said that I wasn't going to attack our fan base this year because there's a lot of, stupidity out there. But look, I was as upset as anybody about the losing of the Redskins name. But these fans that continuously say on Facebook and all that, Redskins, it's always Redskins. It'll always be Redskins. Well, I've got news for you. It's not always going to be Redskins, and the name has been retired. I understand your pain, I do, but it's been retired now, and why not get on board with something new? I don't understand that. Like, your stubbornness isn't going to bring the name back. Being stubborn and just calling them the Redskins, whenever you make a comment like, "Oh, who the Redskins got this week," and then you get people saying, "Well, it's the football team." Your stubbornness isn't going to make anyone change their mind. The name has been changed, and we'll always sit around and drink and talk and remember the Redskins, and the good old RFK days, and they were, always be part of our history, and we'll enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, they had mad times, and mad players.
I mean, my feeling anyway, it's still we're still the same. It's the same feeling for me. I was just as passionate watching games last year. I was just as passionate watching games last year as I ever was.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was probably more passionate last season than the year before when we were the Redskins. That was fucking dismal, wasn't it?
I still sometimes call us the Redskins only because I believe that we should have a nickname, and I want a nickname, and I want to be short sometimes. I don't want to say Washington, because sometimes you always say fucking Washington sucks. Like that's hurtful, to Washington. Like Washington doesn't suck. But if I say the Redskins suck, well, that means like the Redskins are playing shit. I need a nickname. I need a nickname. So I'm not fond of the football team. I'll be honest. I'll tell you straight up. But I'm not going to spit my lollies if they come out and say, well, we're Washington football team. Happy for it, and I'm behind it.
Yeah. I'll support anything. I mean, I do the same thing too. Anyway, I go, honey, I'm going to watch the Skins game today. Like, well, what the Skins are on today? I'm watching the Skins. Like, because I can't be fucked saying to her like, I'm going to watch the Washington football team game today. It's I'm still saying Skins, but once the new name's in, it's going to be like, I'm watching the fucking Commanders. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we've got a few eyes in Skinsfanatic Live right now, so if you haven't subscribed, throw us a few likes and subscribe. And if you want to come on the show, let me know in the comments, and I can send you the link, and we'll have a little chat. I'm always like to have guests on the show, and I like to get the opinion of a lot of other people, not just us two. So it'd be good to hear from someone else. Like I said, just drop a comment, and I'll send you a link if you want to be on. Many fans walked away from the NFL already, and real Redskins fans have totally walked away. Well, I'm a real Redskins fan, and I haven't walked away. So, am I reading that correctly?
Yeah. Okay. I think like what he's trying to say is that I mean, look, the older generation have gone, and that's probably the sad fact over there. And I don't really have too much sympathy for it. I'm not attacking Richard. I just don't, if the young blokes, we need the young people to get behind the team, because the older fan base to some extent, not everyone, to some extent, they have not shown up to the game to have Mr. Snyder hold on to anything. So, I mean, what is he left to do? We need to get some kind of momentum behind us, and this might be it.
Pardon me. Yeah, no, I agree with Richard. Like, to what he's saying here is like, yeah, some of the older heads have completely checked out, and you know, we know that, and yes, a lot of the true fans have been lost, and it's sad. I know, but we feel, and I'm sure the organisation feels as well, that we can get them back by winning world championships and being successful consistently. That's the only way those old heads are going to come back. I mean, I know that a lot of the old heads have ties to the name, and I mean, I consider myself an old head. We only talked about this before we went on air, Crazy Brave, that we are old heads now. We watched the 91 team. We saw some of the greats getting around, and we saw a lot of the greats leave, and then we went through a lot of years of misery. But we can talk back a good 20 some years now, and yeah, we weren't fans when Riggins was running the ball. We weren't fans when Fiesman was ripping the ball. But once we've embraced it, now we've embraced the whole thing, haven't we? And we love Riggins, and we love Joe, and we love all those old greats that we never watched, parked our asses in front of the telly and watched, did we?
No.
But we've embraced the history. So.
We have been Redskin fans for 30 years. So, as you say, I mean, and rattle off.
No, it's 30 years, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. It is 30
over the last years, isn't it? And there's one thing that I will say to any Washington fan that is watching right now. The one thing that I do love about the team is their passion and the fact that they are always in the game at the very end, and that's why I am a fan. They have the bigger heart than the 31 teams, the other 31 teams in the NFL. Like, that's hands down. That's not debatable.
Yeah, and Richard, HTTR does mean something to me, like I've just spent time saying, we have embraced the history here, but like we've got to move on now. Like, I can't do anything here. I can't sulk about it. I want to support a football team, and I'm supporting Washington. Like, that's the team I support. And as long as they still are burgundy and gold, because I feel like the burgundy and gold was something that attracted me to the team, then I am, I'm happy to keep supporting them. And as far as I'm aware, they've come out and said that we will be burgundy and gold no matter what we're called. They're not changing the colour, and I don't even think they're going to change the jerseys. They're just going to put a new logo on the helmet. We might see some fancy alternative jerseys down the track, things of that nature, and other stuff like that. But I think the burgundy on white and the white on burgundy uniforms are going to stay. The stripes on the pants.
I mean, with the passion for the old tradition, there's no way that there's going to be some off the charts or change to the uniforms. They're going to stay very similar to what Washington fans have been used to.
Anyway, we've probably spent 10 or 15 minutes longer on this topic than I anticipated, but it's good we got some people in here to share some thoughts. Hey?
It just gets everyone's fired up, the topic of the name change and everything. Like, it's just fiery topic.
No, I get it, and it's hard to just have a little conversation. It's hard to have just a little conversation about it. I understand that. I do. But no, like when you get people, that's what I mean. You get people who want to talk and ask questions, and it just creates more conversation, and that's great. I love it. But let's talk about the state of the team right now. A few cuts this week. Old Kelvin Harmon didn't make it through camp. Released. I don't know what that means at the moment. It might mean that DeAndre Carter makes the team. It might mean he doesn't. It might not mean much at all. Harmon might have been one of those players who, wasn't going to make it anyway. But we've got rid of him early. We had to cut the roster down. Greg Stroman also shown the door, and they're really just some of the names. I mean, we also cut Lamar Miller. Was it Lamar? Miller, the running back.
Yeah,
Lamar. Yes. So he's been cut, which to me was a bit more of an indication that we will be hanging on to Jarrett Patterson. And I think that's been the census with the fan base and every other reporter or podcast or whatever it's been this week have basically been telling me that, Jarrett Patterson is going to be on the roster. And, we can see what he does tomorrow morning or today if you're waking up early in the United States right now. And, if he turns out another strong performance, then, he definitely lock him in. And if he doesn't, who knows? You might bring back Lamar Miller.
It's actually a really big game for Jared Patterson tomorrow. He needs to show up, and prove what he did last week he can do again, and we can rely on him to be a consistent player. That's the situation he's put himself in, and that I'm sure he can handle it. If he wants to get better, he knows tomorrow's a big game.
Yeah, and I'm also interested because I believe he is going to have his try his hand at returning punts and probably kickoffs. I'm not sure, but I know he's going to definitely have a go at punts.
Nice.
So hopefully he can force a few punting situations and we can see what he does. Interesting stat I saw today: the football team hasn't scored over 20 points in its last. I think it was maybe 19 out of the last 20 preseason games, or maybe it was only 9 out of 10 preseason games. So, and I thought about that, and I was like, that's true. We have struggled in the preseason to just put a number on somebody. I know it's the preseason, but I wouldn't mind seeing us just roll out and just get some points, big points on the board tomorrow. Have all three units come out and just play well. Just be polished. Everyone just be polished out there, and some of these guys who are on the bubble really, really take over. Take it up with the team. Take it up, but the team is dead. NFL has been 35% of viewership. That's what you guys should be talking about. As Crazy Joe would say, come on, man. Yeah, okay. So a lot of the money is generated.
No one is boycotting the NFL. Like, the NFL is one of the greatest products we've ever seen. Like, you can take it back to the days of Joe Montana and Andre Rison and, rest in peace, Marty Schottenheimer. Like, these blokes inspire me. Like, I'm not giving up on that shit, because of Joe Biden running America or Donald Trump, but
No.
I think it's Skinsfanatic.
Yeah, well, the NFL is dead, is he saying? So, look.
No, the NFL's huge.
It is huge. And as long as there's people in stadiums, I'm pretty sure that's a healthy product. because there's a lot of people watching it on TV. So if you've got a lot of people watching it on TV and you've got a lot of asses on seats in stadiums, and you're selling a lot of jerseys and you're selling a lot of Game Pass, I'd say that I'd say it's got a pulse. I'd say there's definitely a pulse there.
I was going to bring it up when we were talking about the Redskins name, but there's all this little kerfuffle over all these keyboard warriors who think they're going to sing hail to the Redskins after every touchdown tomorrow. I mean, come on, Mike. Who are you scaring? Who are you intimidating? You haven't been at a game for fucking 6 years. Not interested in your little hail to the Redskins behind in the background. The Washington is moving on from that shit, and we're about to win football games. If you're not, part of it, you're not going to enjoy it. Like, go and support the New York Giants or one of those other teams that seem to grab everyone's attention, because what we're doing here is going to be something you don't want to miss. So I don't want to hear negative shit anymore. People fucking telling me that the NFL is dead, or that, Washington's not going to win any more games next year.
Look. I can guarantee you that. It's interesting because I thought about that. We didn't have no fans last year, and there were fans in there because the emotions were still fresh about the dropping of the name. You might have had some of that singing of the the fight song in the stadium, but I think they, in a way, they kind of got lucky that the 12 months of no fans in this, the 12-month gap between the seasons, that you're not going to get as many people doing it, because I think some of the fans are starting to take on what Jason Wright's trying to do, and they're not going to have people singing the song. Look, and I could be wrong, but I don't know if you're going to hear that when we play the Bengals.
You're not going to hear it pouring down from the stands, and we're all going to go, "Oh, no. Racism! Fucking hell!"
No. And Dan Snyder's going to be sitting in the box like wiping a tear, like going, "Change it back." No.
Oh,
no, it ain't going to happen.
No. Worldwide sports boycott. No, there is not a worldwide sports boycott, mate. Like, I'm telling you, the NFL is huge, like, and our sports over here in Australia emulate that shit. And, like, we're only touching on what you guys have fucking been through. Sport is not dead. Sport is the greatest thing you can ever fucking do. And support. Life be in it.
Anyway, Richard, I appreciate Richard's input. I'm not getting on Richard. He's entitled to come on here and share his opinion. This is what this show is about.
Of course
Just
he is.
as long as he's a subscriber, then he's good with me. I love all my subscribers and all my likers, and
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a shit. Right now, I don't know whether he kneels for the anthem or he doesn't. It doesn't really fucking matter, does it? Like, we're here to talk football.
Crazy Brave did say in the green room before we started tonight that he might get emotional tonight, and he is. So no, well, this is why I love Crazy Brave, because he's flies off the handle all the time, but he's very passionate. So no, it's great. It's great. We need more passion in this world. We really do. And passion's a great thing. And look, I if I do hear "Hail to the Redskins" tomorrow when watching the game, it will give me a bit of a buzz. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be, oh, fucking shut up, Yeah, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system, and then and move on. That's probably more.
You're actually allowed to talk about the Redskins at the game. Like, stop acting like you're not.
Yeah,
You're
you just
allowed-
can't wear feathers and shit on your head and
You can
walk
talk
around with
about.
dream catchers and shit.
Oh, I haven't seen an Indian tattoo on a Sean Taylor jersey yet. So don't think you can't wear your Sean Taylor jersey in. It's a white jersey with number 21 on it.
Oh yeah, you can wear your Redskin jersey, and you can even wear your hats and your beanies and your jackets, but you just can't wear any Indian fanfare. You can't wear feathers and have fucking dream catchers
And
and
you've got to wear your Redskins
smoking drums
jacket
and
in
shit.
50 years' time. And you can also, have a nice Washington jersey as well. Like people are going to know what you're fucking on about. Yeah.
Well, as soon as we change the name, I've got a fucking closet full of throwback jerseys now. Like that shit's throwback. That's that's forever. As you say, Richard, hell yes, you can walk around with feathers on your head. Well, yeah, and I'm all for people's choice too. I don't like being told what to do, Richard. We shouldn't be told what to do. Totally agree with that. If you don't feel a racist bone in your body, and if you feel like everything you're doing is above board, absolutely, wear the feathers on your head. But I'm pretty sure that if you do it at FedEx, you'll probably get escorted out, or you'll get your feathers thrown in the bin or something. I don't know, but that was the memo that came out from Jason Wright. So that's the game you want to play. Like, I don't want to walk around with a mask on my mouth on my face either, but I only do it because I don't want to get fined. So it's up to you. Do what you like, and I totally agree. And I just probably lost Richard because I don't wear a mask. Anyway, let's not talk about that shit. Let's talk about the football team.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Kyle Allen will be making his return to the field. You're shocked. You didn't know that.
Carry on.
Oh yeah, Kyle Allen will be having some reps tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to that because we saw what Heineke done last week, and I'm like, okay, but let's see what Allen's got because we know Allen can play. Yeah, Richard's been a little bit of a shit cunt now. We know Allen can play, and I'm interested to see, if he balls out, like we're not going to see much Montez, and I don't know how much Fitzy we're going to see. So, like, how are we going to treat this game? How are we going to approach this game in terms of reps with these quarterbacks? I have a feeling in that last preseason game, we're going to probably play. It's going to be like a full dress rehearsal. So I have a feeling we're going to see a similar sort of pattern with who gets those quarterback reps against the Bengals. And I expect probably Allen to come in behind Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I would say so too with that news that I've just heard. My initial thought was that Kyle Allen will be cut from the team. He would have had to proving he would have had one game in the final week of pre-season, and it would have been the same as Jared Patterson. He would have been, he's under pressure. Like, if he only got to play in the third and final pre-season, but it's good news that he has been free to play in the second game, and now can he take that opportunity and show himself to be better than Taylor Heineke? I mean, I actually think he will, now that he has 2 games. I thought it would be very hard for him if he just came in on that final week, but that is big news. Kyle Allen may make the final 53.
Kyle Allen's making the team. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. I mean, look, I know this is your opinion, but in my opinion, no, he was making the team. We can't, because here's the thing. Look, we can't go with Heineke and Fitzpatrick and Montez, because Heineke, his biggest problem's been staying on the field. He's been injured in every game that he's played.
Our backup. So, I mean, actually, that's probably my biggest argument to why he shouldn't be our backup. But anyway,
but then on the flip side, Allen's been the same. Kyle Allen's been exactly the same. I mean, he can't stay on the field either. So we're going to need them both. We can't let either of them walk out the building, because if something happens to Fitzy, or Fitzy plays like Shitsy, we're going to need something.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I am confident that Kyle Allen is going to make the team. Right? But I'm also aware that he's on the cusp. Like, if he's not fit to play at least one game, well, you know, that would have been dire for him. Yeah, if we're going with 3 quarterbacks, which I can understand, it is probably likely, then yeah, I mean, he still does have a chance. Someone's going to be second and third, you know, like on that.
We might not activate all 3 on game day. That's the thing.
Yeah,
we won't not have. We might, but hopefully we don't have a situation like last year where it's like, well, fuck, our starting quarterback's playing on a fucking toothpick leg, and we've got, you know, this guy, and we don't even know if he can play, and then it's like, well, we better dress Montez because, you know.
All this Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke injury-prone talk, I mean, it's out there, and they do have brittle bones, but the thing about them is those blokes will play injured, you know. He'll run around with a fucking broken thumb on his non-throwing hand. I agree. They're the type of characters you need on your football team.
I believe that more about Heineke than I do Allen, but yeah, because Heineke looks like he's a flat fucking, he's a gamer, and he's a baller. But I'm with Fitzy. I'm Team Fitzy, you know.
Team Fitzy. Yeah, Team Fitzy, mate.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Fitzy now anyway, if he's ready to have a chat. Fitzy, you there?
Yeah,
you ready?
Fitzy.
Can I just give you a thumbs up?
A long time ago. Kept him hanging.
Yeah, I know. Where is he? Fitzy. What's happened to him? Seizing up. Well, you have to sort that out. R2, you might have to come back, leave and come back or something. You're a little bit frozen there.
Yeah, he probably in the waiting room for too long.
No, he's here, but he's a bit funny. He's not coming in properly. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back. He knows what he's doing. He'll sort himself out. Richard, I like Richard. He's been sticking around watching the show, and I appreciate that. In a few years, NFL will be flag football league. Yeah, look, I know. Rush Limbaugh stated this several years ago. The left wants to do what? The left wants to do away with football altogether. Say what you want, but it's the truth. Okay. Yeah, I know, it's too violent and people get concussions and put fucking shotguns to their heads and shit. Yeah, look, the world's gone bad. Richard, you've opened up fucking the Pandora's box tonight, really. We're going down a rabbit hole now about where the whole world's headed, really. But football is still happening at the moment, and I'm going to fucking watch it and ride it till I die, or at least it dies. I don't know, but let's look forward to something. Let's get excited about something that we can actually look forward to, and I'm looking forward to football. What's going on?
Two. Yes. Going good. Yibbity yibbity.
Yeah.
Good,
Oh, yibbity
yibbity. Yeah, there is a bit of a technical problem, I think.
Nah, you're good.
Dropped out.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Wicked. Nah, week 2, I seen the or wrapping into the first preseason game against the Chargers for the Rams. Bit banged up actually. Feel which would make up numbers on offense. Wide receivers, a few injuries. I think the defense was good. The blokes trying to get spots got a sack each. Jonah Williams. William and Eric Banks. But the offense line looking pretty interesting. There's a lot of talk around that basically if you show you can protect the quarterback, which essentially is number 9, you're going to probably get that extra spot on the new roster once it's cut. If you're someone who can look after number 9, you're in.
Offensive line, defensive line.
Yeah.
Offensive line, defensive line. It's the biggest position in the game. If you've got both of those clicking, it's going to be hard to lose games. So you can have all your little expensive and your little flashy toys on the outside and your nice shiny new quarterback, but if you can't block, you're not going to be able to move the chains, I'm afraid.
Especially with that wily young head coach that the LA Rams have, who just knows how to manipulate the game clock with his running game plan and short passes. The Rams are going to be a team to fucking.
I'm with you.
Well, there are ways to work around. There are ways to work around a suspect offensive line. We've seen that in Washington for the last how many years, like some schemes you can run, but it only lasts for so long. It only gets you so far.
I'm with you on what you said about the preseason. Your record, I think, of not scoring over 20 points in 15 games or something in preseason. I was hearing someone talk about exact same thing. The first games usually drive, field goal. The second game, you want to see it amped up a bit. And particularly for the Rams too, this is how I'm talking. What I'm hearing from my team is get over 20. Now let's see a few more drives, a few more touchdowns, get the polish on it. But definitely. You mentioned it, so I was like, that's right there. You want to step it up. No field goals anymore.
You just want to see a bit more shine.
Get a feel for the new stadium.
I just want to see a bit more shine to it. You know what I mean? Like it's not about winning, losing, or game planning and all that stuff. It's about like the connections with your receivers and like seeing players that are on the fringe put in an effort. Someone stand out. You know what I mean? So, I don't like losing, but I'm definitely taking losing in preseason a lot easier than I ever did in recent years. That's for sure.
Oh
so.
Man,
hey, crazy!
I'll tell you what, I suck of jerseys on eBay, man. Like you can get Shane Matthews game worn jersey for fucking $240. I'll tell you what, it looks.
Hey, crazy brave.
Ali, hey, R2 Ramu, welcome to the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to be ignoring you there.
Yeah, Oh, it's all good. It's I laughed before when you mentioned jumping on Heineke all year for you guys and whatever. But I love those fans in the stands that want to come to the game where the backup quarterback's jersey and they're big fans of him, or whatever the situation be. It's not always your favourite jersey, could be the star of the team.
R2, look, Skinsfanatic will tell you that I'm actually a serial backup quarterback jersey buyer. Ain't nothing wrong with the backup. I mean,
Big fan.
Crazy brave.
I'm getting
Crazy
pretty
brave
bad
was,
delay, hey.
well, we're all good. Crazy Braves had hard on for the backup quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm
for as long-
listening to you. It's just real.
Right.
Did Skinsfanatic? Did you hear about the Rams practice with Vegas this week?
No.
Oh, Vegas turned up, got off the bus like they were turning up to the Super Bowl, and the practice session got cut bloody 14 minutes early. They broke out into another brawl. Things got heated, and I think they told him to get back on the bus. Like, that's it. It's all done for today. There's big dramas with not finishing the yeah.
Well, I saw.
I'm getting a bit worried. The Rams are getting a bit grubby.
I saw the Dallas fight on Hard Knocks, and I've got to say that was pretty weak. I mean, you look back at when we had that fight, when Washington had the fight with the Texans. I think it was the Texans. Crazy Brave, can you remember? I think it was the Texans.
Yeah, we did. It was Houston, correct?
Yeah, that was a fight. That stretched over two practice fields. This Dallas fight was weak as piss. But yeah. No, I didn't say, what's going on? Rams are a bit chippy. They're getting pissed off, are they? No, not welcome. No one's welcome.
Yeah.
It happens quite a lot. And
the guys
really
were saying
sorry, R2. Really looking forward to what the Rams have got on offer this year with the early rivals they've got going on. They don't even have to leave LA for their pre-season game. No wonder they're all hot-headed and stuff like that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, right. You're right. No, they're going to Mile High.
Oh,
they're going to Denver.
Yeah. Okay.
The Rams' next game is in Denver, is it?
No. We've got Vegas this week at home again.
Yep.
Then it's off to Denver, last one. Then back to LA for regular season.
Yeah, okay. What are your thoughts on Denver?
It was a pretty shit.
No thoughts on Denver?
I'll tell you about Denver after next weekend, I guess. No, it's still pre-season.
I'm really pleased with like the excitement that's just brewing at the moment. Those 4 or 5 rookie quarterbacks that debuted last week, were enough to get fans tingling, and it's not all about quarterbacks for me, but isn't it great to see so many people getting behind some players for a change.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Stafford did the old I've got things that I could do a better job. I'm going to do things better. He had a sloppy day at the practice against Vegas. Bad shape, poor decisions. I did the old I've got to get better in the practice interview at the end. And but the thing is, people are and it's good. They're pushing it. You know, they're trying these things. It's the practice. You know, that's all it is. It's not. Yeah, no game yet, and that's what I mean. Vegas turned up all like, woo. The Rams just wanted the practice.
Yeah, well, you know, they say that, but what really happened? Because I saw Aaron Donald. I was watching Hard Knocks, and I saw Aaron Donald, and I'm like, I reckon Aaron Donald's the one who is going to instigate this fight here, you know. And he was all in it. Aaron Donald, I mean, he's a great player, but is he a grub or what? What's going on there with Aaron? Crazy.
Oh yeah, no, he wants something all the time. He wants to get in the head all the time, like your Blake. You know, he's only learning it. He's going to get better at it. The Funk was mic'd up, the running back, and where he's from is the same place that Chase Young's from. And every time he tells them, they go, "Oh, Chase Young," and he's laughing. He goes, "No, I went to the public school. Chase Young went to the good school." School.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's Funk? Man?
Oh, Funk. I forgot his last name now. It just says Funk on the back. Right. Yeah.
He's what plays for the Rams?
Yeah, try and get that running back spot. He only got 4 yards. I think he's a bit banged up after this one. And that's the other thing with the preseason game. You get these young blokes on ice, they're injured, they miss a game or two, come the cut, they're like, "Oh, remember me? You know, week 1 I did." Yeah, but you're in the ice bath and I only remember yesterday, son. You know, it's like, ooh, it's not good getting injuries at this time of the year.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Washington Redskins and football team have cut some great players in the off season, but I'm sure that there has been some mistakes made. You know, sometimes the best players, you know, don't. Some of the better players don't end up getting a spot. It's way it goes. Like, I mean,
with that being said, here, Crazy Brave, I believe that this season, when we do make some roster cuts, we're probably going to get more interest from other teams about some of our players that we let go. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, like sometimes we let cut players and they never play football ever again. Like,
that's right.
You know,
I mean,
and you're like, oh, well, it tells you something about our team if no one's picking these guys up. But you know, if you've got like, that's what I mean. Like Harmon will get picked up. I think he might have already had some interest with Buffalo, or he might have actually signed with Buffalo. I'm pretty sure Greg Stroman will get picked up. I'm pretty sure that if we cut Jarrett Patterson, he would get picked up. But if we keep Patterson and we cut like J.D. McKissick or something, or Peyton Barber, one of those guys will get picked up. You know, so I reckon there's going to be, like, it just tells you more our depth, you know, the talent we're building here. We're building a bigger pool of talent. Definitely.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's correct. Like, this is, you know, the thing with bringing in players that love football. You know, they're the top players whose careers will continue. I mean, people can laugh at and bag Colt McCoy for, you know, his time here, but you know, he's moved on to Arizona, and he's got a very important role to fill as a backup quarterback, and you know, these are the type of players that, I'm not saying that we should not have gotten rid of Colt McCoy, but I'm saying that, you know, these are the players that you want to build your team around. Type of players who love the game.
Well, talent.
Yeah.
Talent. We all know that Colt McCoy can play the position. He's probably not a 16-game starter, but he can play the position, you know, and that's why he's been around. He's been on teams, But yeah,
So
I mean,
and that's the difference. Colt McCoy will just be leading by example with his age. Hopefully, with the Washington football team, we're going to have Fitzpatrick out there actually performing it and doing it like he's still got another chance.
well, look, the best case scenario is that we see Fitzpatrick play every game this year, and hopefully his first playoff game because he's never played in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
That's the goal. I mean, we want to see. We want to see him. We want to in the 17 game week, 17 game season. We want to see him playing 14 games and starting the playoff game. That's what we need to see. 14 plus starts and a playoff victory. Oh, not a playoff victory. It'd be nice for him to. Yeah. Well, I'm happy for that to take him 2 years. I'm happy for that to take him 2 years, to be honest, on this show right now. Let me state that. You know, I'm not. If Fitzpatrick is put in there to start for the whole 17 games by Ron Rivera, then I will probably be comfortable enough to assess it myself and say that he's not the reason we didn't make the playoffs. I'm going to be fair. You know, I'm happy for him to learn a bit. Fuck, man. Start next year if you want to keep playing.
If he plays shitty, then we will be saying, well, let's give Heineke a go or Allen a go.
Yeah, I won't tolerate poor quarterback play when the season's on the line. Like I said last week, if we're 2-4 or 1-5, and I'm getting the yips, I will want to see Kyle or fucking Taylor, depending on whether I will be blaming the quarterback for the losses, the previous losses, because it is quite possible to lose games without the quarterback playing bad.
I'll tell you what, we know that Fitzpatrick, when he is on, and I saw him play in that game against the Raiders last season, and my God, man, he was awesome in that game. Like some of the balls he put out there, and that one at the end where he got the face mask pulled back and he slung it out to the sideline. That was awesome. And I'm like, fuck, man, Fitzpatrick's he's a baller. And I think the next week they needed to win to go to the playoffs, and he got COVID or some shit, or he didn't play. I know, he I don't know, he was some crap some protocol that they put him through and he didn't play. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes the Dolphins, man. Because he should have played, in that game.
The Dolphins were playing games last year. I'm sure that they were trying to blood Tua as much as they could. They seemed to just wanted to give Tua the big game and just go, okay, well, we didn't succeed, but we gave him, at least we've given him a go, and that's experience for him. It was like they didn't expect to win. It's like, okay, well, let's just start fucking Tua today. Give him a loss.
Yeah.
So he can experience it.
It worked.
Fine.
I've never seen such a injustice. The way they treated Fitzpatrick at Miami last season was fucking unbelievable. He just won them 3 games in a row or something, 3 or 4 games in a row, and then they just benched him. It's just ridiculous. It didn't make any sense.
Look, to me, it made sense when you've got that talent there, as you do with Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
You eventually going to have to pull a bloke and say, oh, I want to go with this young man. Tough decision.
Well, we're going to see him, aren't we? Surely.
Can I say something though? I don't think Tua Tagovailoa is going to make it.
No.
I don't think he's any good. I just don't. I just watch him. I watched a bit of him last week. I watched a bit of that Bears game, and I still watched some of him last year, and he just looks very indecisive. He looks a bit clunky. He doesn't look very crisp. He needs to make a leap, or he's just not going to make it. It's going to be interesting year in Miami, but it's going to come down to him, and he's got to prove himself, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely. He's under immense pressure to come up with the Taylor Heineke standards. You know, he needs to be running for his life, and shit needs to come up, and he just needs to play football and relax a bit.
What sort of offense was he running with last week, though? Like, how many starters were in there with him?
Oh, I'm not sure Skinsfanatic was so much putting it on last week's pre-season game, but more what it cost you.
Well, I did say that I watched some of the game, the Bears game. I did see some of that Bears game. I felt the same way. And then looking at him in that game, but I'm not. What I am saying is I wasn't basing it off a preseason game. I did see some of him last year, and I just don't know if I just don't know if he's got it. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know either. I mean, no one knows at the moment. What he does have is the ability. He's right there at the cusp. You just want to get inside his head and fucking tell him, "Hey mate, like, you've got this right here. You know, you just need to slow it down here."
Another thing too is
he's playing too fast, and he gets rid of the ball too early. When if he sees that the defense is already shitting their pants because of Tua Tagovailoa and what we fucking heard and feared, he can take advantage of these things like some of these running quarterbacks have in the past, and at least have 2 or 3 years.
I don't know what it is too, but like whenever I watch a left-handed quarterback, it's weird, man. And I'm left-handed, and I love left-handed athletes, but like a left-handed quarterback always just looks weird. Like I always thought that way with Mark Brunell. Like every time he'd throw the ball, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like where's that going? That looked fucking awkward.
That's because where the main cameras are coming from. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because normally you'd see it like, but when it's over here, it's like, what the fuck? Right. Yeah, I know. It's the same in Madden.
There's some great left-handed quarterbacks that have been through the game over the past 30 years that I've watched. You know, and they all tend
Crazy
to be...
Brave stat time.
Oh, no, I'm not going to offer
Give
up
us the left-handed quarterbacks, man. Come on.
Yeah,
you've done it.
Michael Vick.
I thought, aren't we talking about Young from San Francisco and
Steve Young?
Steve Young is one. Or what about Garcia?
Ooh. I don't know about that one. What about Randall Cunningham? Wasn't he left-handed?
Nah, Randall's
No, that's my fault. That's my ex.
Boomer Esiason was left-handed. Mark Brunell. I mean, there's 3. That's enough to
Good
show
stats.
tonight.
I think the best one you brought up, and it's funny though, the best one you brought up, John Beck. Jesus Christ. The best one you brought up, and he actually didn't look too awkward throwing the ball on TV, was Steve Young. Steve Young.
Yeah, I agree.
Steve Young.
Just
talented at knowing what the defense was was going to do, and once they had already reacted, how much time he had to change that play, and he made himself look good from basically watching the game from the bench for so long, and the players in NFL today come in with that knowledge and that mindset, and the game has just advanced so much since the days of Steve Young. As thrilling as he was to watch, but fuck man, really excited about some
Speaking
of
of
these
game,
young players.
how do you two feel about the big game tomorrow? Like touchy earlier on the show, and is this a big moment? Fans getting out there. You're obviously on fandom like Twitter's accounts and whatever with people. What are you thinking?
I would say that. Look, actually, I'll let Skinsfanatic speak.
Big game. I don't feel big game fever.
No,
For
the
a pre-season.
Washington football team's moment.
The
As in,
moment.
well, change of name, fans again.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait.
What are you hearing? I want to. Yeah, I was like,
Oh, what am I hearing?
it
Not much.
Came up earlier in the
mean,
show.
Yeah, I will look. I follow. I'm on a lot of groups on Facebook that and a lot of people are like, "Who's going tomorrow? Got my tickets and shit." And yeah, people are excited. I mean, but like,
Wicked.
It's a big stadium, so if everyone on my Facebook page said that they were going and they all went, then it's going to look like no one's fucking there. But
I'm not sure R2. I'm not sure R2 in the early part of this show, but we already talked about the fans being back there and whatnot. Mm.
Yeah.
Look,
but
I just want to go back to. Yeah, I just got a list of left-handed quarterbacks I want to run through. Right, some good ones. You're right. Crazy. Kenny Stabler. We didn't see how Kenny played. I've seen my NFL films, and Kenny was a baller. Michael Vick, Frankie Albert. His photo's black and white, so he must have been old as fuck. Jim Zorn, left-handed. Jimmy. Remember Matt Leinart, the USC Trojans hero that never amounted to much in the NFL. Chris Sims and Cabe McNown.
Oh.
I'm sure there was more, but that's all my list is right now. Not many there, and it doesn't mention Steve Young.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a few, and no, look,
there's a lot.
Yeah. But I did have a little browse through some of those games last week. I didn't watch all of them and, amount to many minutes. I will admit it was probably, my pre-season viewing of other teams was probably less than 1 hour. But I did check out those teams with some new additions, especially their sparkling new quarterbacks, the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, we've been through the New England Patriots, who also had a win today, 35-0, 35-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't want to jump to conclusions. I just want to enjoy season and watch what they're doing, but you can't help but be excited about what the Bears like Fields did there last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was one of the games I had to go and check out. I was like, that, because I saw some highlights and I was like, that looked like a fucking beautiful day in Chicago for starters. Like Soldier Field looked amazing, and the crowd, and I was like, and then Fields, he bought out, and I was like, well, I've got to go and check that game out, and I started watching some of it, and then I saw the highlights, and yeah, I was like,
Yeah, they look like they might have an exciting year.
But Andy Dalton's
Should
come
I
out
get
this week and
spooked?
said that, no.
Is he going to start?
Andy Dalton's come out this week and said that it's his team. It's his team, but I think that's bullshit, man. I think Dalton's tripping, and it won't be long before we see Fields. Yeah, Dalton.
Oh, poor Andy Dalton. God love you, Andy, but no.
He like that Pirates pitcher, is he?
What's that? What was that? The Pirates pitcher?
Oh, yeah, on the acid. Pitched on acid. And it was a no-hitter.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Is he like him? Literally, when you said he's tripping, I'm like, is he tripping?
Oh, right, no.
I mean, nah, listen, why we're on here, I mean, I don't want to pay any, disrespect to Andy Dalton, like, just because his career might end down funny path. Like, Andy, what a champion you are, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep. Well, look, anyway, guys, I think this has been a
and going down that NFL quarterback path. How about your guy Fitzmagic? Like, I got to feel something now for him. I think I've got to say it tonight on this show because he started at the Rams, and I'm like, that was the beginning of our quarterback carousel that just started, and here I am. Down the track, he's playing for your mob. What kept going in the league. Champion.
And before
that's right.
Sorry.
Oh, we've got Fitzmagic's first game in our archives. It's actually on my channel, on this channel. Rams, Redskins, Fitzmagic's first start. Go and check it out. And subscribe, the whole works. Well, I wanted to wrap the show up because I'm about to piss my pants. But Super Brew tipping competitions can be back for season 2021-22. So I will be generating that shortly, and we'll get that started. But we're going to have some time between
get your subs onto it.
Yeah. Well, anyone's welcome to join. They definitely are.
Rudskins,
if you want to join,
the bloke last week.
Join. Yeah, we'll get Rudskins in. Yep.
Yeah, Rudskins and Richard.
Yeah, Mick, Vince,
Fin Tragic. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him in. Yeah, we'll see. We might just send out a few invites and we'll set them around. See how we can go.
Thank you, R2, and thank you, LA Rams, for doing something that our football team has failed to do, and that is just let a young quarterback develop. And yeah, you didn't hang on to him forever, but if Ryan Fitzpatrick had come to the Washington Redskins 15 in the year 2005, he might not have gotten another job anywhere else. It's just that cutthroat here. But I love the way that some regions handle their football and their football players and let them come up to what they deserve to be. Thank you.
250th pick in the draft, eh?
Yeah, outstanding. All right. Well, that's Skinsfanatic Live for another week. Like I was trying to say, well, we've got some days between the end of the preseason to the regular season. We will then break down basically a lot of NFL stuff. I really want to get into some of that other around the league stuff too. That's always fun. But this is why we had like shows last season that went for like 2.5 hours, because we just talked about the league. But I'd like to thank you all for joining me tonight on the show. And is there anything that anyone wants to say before we head off, or is everyone good?
All good, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, Skinsfanatic.
Yep.
Arthur
All right.
Ramy. Good luck to the ULA Rams.
Cheers, Crazy.
Thank you.
All right, we'll try not to hot mic, but I'll see you backstage and we'll have a drink and debrief. All right. Peace, R2. Peace, Crazy. All right, guys, that's the show for tonight. And till next week, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other fun shit. And we'll see you next week.